You're supposed to add just a tiny amount of water and we had a lot of water. Not my fault.
It was someone else's fault.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another video, and for today's video, as you can guess from the title below, I'm going to try and recreate Chatime at home. So I'm going to try to make their classic milk tea with tapioca pearls. And for reference, I'm gonna go get a cup of Chatime's milk tea with pearls. So let's go. I went to Chatime and got their milk tea as a reference and also as an excuse to have some boba tea. If you follow my Instagram, you know that I'm a huge boba tea lover, and today we're going to try and recreate this at home. So I took their milk tea with pearls and no ice. I don't like ice in my milk tea because I feel like it just dilutes the flavor. Perfect milk tea with those yummy pearls. The amount of sugar here is just perfect. It's not too sweet, and I'm going to try and recreate it as best as I can. So I looked into a couple of YouTube videos on how to make milk tea with pearls, and I was just amazed at how simple it looked.
But you guys know how I make simple tasks very hard, so let's see.
So the ingredients we're going to need are tea, like a regular tea will do, whole milk. Some places use like evaporated milk or condensed milk, but I think whole milk is a good choice as most of the places use that. Some sugar and the star of the show, tapioca pearls. Now there are a lot of different flavors if you ever want to buy tapioca pearls, but we stuck to the basic black sugar tapioca pearls. So when I went to buy the ingredients, I saw brown sugar and thought, why not make a brown sugar boba tea as well, which is one of my most favorite flavors of boba tea. So there are two main methods on how to make the tea for your milk tea. So you can either incorporate the milk and the tea together and bring them to a boil, and the other method is you make your tea separately and add your milk to the tea later. And after I had the Chatime, I think they used the second method where they brewed the tea first and added the milk later, because if you use the both of them together and brew them together, it would give you the more creamier flavor. And the method that I'm going to do, which I think Chatime followed, which is brewing the tea first and adding the milk later, is going to give it a much more lighter flavor. So I'm going to try and use that method to make milk tea at home. So we're going to start with the tea making process. I'm going to add 3 of my tea bags. Depends on how strong you want. You can add more or you can go with less. I'm feeling 3 is my magic number. Gonna add boiling hot water. Again, this depends on how much you're trying to make. I'm just gonna try to make 1 cup. And then you let it sit for 4 to 5 minutes. And while it's sitting and brewing and getting into a nice tea, we're gonna work on our tapioca pearls. So let's go. Oh, and one more thing, we have to make sure that the tea is completely cooled down before we start assembling our boba milk tea. So I'm boiling my water for my tapioca pearls, and after my water has boiled, I'm gonna add 1 cup of tapioca pearls here and wait until they have swollen up. And after my tapiocas are done, I'm going to add them into a sugar syrup, which I'm going to make after my tapioca is done. So my water is boiling and I'm gonna add my tapioca pearls to it. So I think I went a little too generous with my tapioca pearls. This should take about 5 minutes to be ready. The pearls are gonna rise up to the top, and look at them rising up. One quick way to know that your pearls are ready is they're gonna start bubbling and come up to the top. Rise of the planet tapioca pearls. Ba-dum-bum. Smells like those tapioca pearls that they use in Chatime. What? Tapioca pearls are rising up. I'm gonna make the sugar syrup that I'm gonna dunk them into. Depends on how sweet you want it. You can add more, you can add less. The world is your oyster. You don't necessarily need to boil the water that you're adding your sugar into. You can just add it to normal room temperature water, but I want it to be a little more syrupy, so I'm just gonna boil it. So my tapioca pearls are ready, and I'm gonna drain them and just put some cold water on top of it and just wash them. So my tapioca pearls are ready, and look at them glisten. And you have to make sure that they don't stick together. So I'm gonna add these to my sugar syrup
to sweeten up the pearls.
Take the glass that you're making your milk tea in and put the boba that was dunked into the sugar syrup here before we pour our milk and tea into it. Now, before we start assembling both our teas, I'm gonna make a brown sugar syrup for my brown sugar boba. I'm going to add some brown sugar, pour a water and make it into a syrup, and then dunk the leftover bobas here, and that's gonna give it a nice brown sugar flavor that we find in brown sugar boba. So I got a little bit of water on heat, and now I'm gonna add my brown sugar to it to make my brown sugar syrup. So my brown sugar syrup is ready, so I'm gonna dunk the rest of my tapioca pearls here for my brown sugar boba milk tea. This looks so good. So I just realized that we messed up while making the brown sugar syrup because you're supposed to add just a tiny amount of water, and we had a lot of water. Not my fault.
It was someone else's fault.
So this is me trying to fix it. But our bobas are already in the brown sugar syrup, and they don't need it to be that thick. This is actually just for decorating our cup and also to add to our tea so that it gives it a brown sugar flavor. It's time for assembly. So we got our brown sugar boba here and our regular sugar boba here, and now we're gonna start with the assembly. We're gonna start with the classic milk tea. And so I'm gonna add my tea, which has been brewed and cooled down, to my boba. So again, this depends on how strong you want it. And I'm not gonna add any more tea, I think, because I want to make it as close to as chatime as possible. Sweeten up your tea, so I'm gonna add some sugar, a slight mix. Now for the main event, some cold milk. I really hope this works.
Ooh, that looks so good. That looks really good.
Okay, do I need more tea? It tastes like chatime. Okay, not exactly like chatime, but it's so close. Tastes really close.
It's just a bit milder than chatime.
Maybe we just need to add more tea.
Yeah, just go ahead.
Okay, this tastes unbelievably close to chatime. This is the boba. I can't believe I didn't turn this into a disaster and could actually do it. I deserve a clap. Go ahead, clap for me. So this is our final product, classic milk tea. And this was a success! Now the one I've been excited for the most, the brown sugar boba. So first I'm going to pour the boba in. And I'm also adding some brown sugar syrup so that I don't need to add any more sugar in my tea. And it gives it a nice brown sugar flavor. So me trying to decorate my cup was a failure, kind of. But oh, look at this side. It doesn't look that bad. So I'm going to add a little bit of my tea because milk occupies the majority of the brown sugar boba drink. And now I'm going to add some milk.
That looks fantastic.
Okay, I'm not going to lie, this actually looks really good. So I use a very normal brown sugar that you can find in grocery stores or supermarkets, but different boba chains like Chatime and other places, they use a specific kind of brown sugar that gives it a more rich flavor and a more rich color, and I'm not sure what the name is, but I'm going to look into it and leave the name right up here. Now let's start drinking. It's a bit too sweet for me. But I like boba drink. I'm a brown sugar boba. Do you like it?
The sweetness is just right. Ooh. Ooh, wow. Okay, it hits you. You know, initially it doesn't hit you, but after you take a bite of the boba.
And since we kept our boba in the sugar syrup for a really long time, it's giving it a nice brown sugar flavor. It's a bit too sweet for me, personally, because I think we added too much syrup. But he likes it. Which one would you pick? The brown sugar boba or the milk tea that I made?
Definitely the brown sugar.
I would go with the milk tea, the classical milk tea. So all in all, I think this was a success, which is rare when it comes to a cooking thing and me. The closest thing that came to Chatime was the classical milk tea, not the brown sugar, because I think the sugar really makes a difference. And also I think that making the syrup and everything, we kind of messed up a little there. So maybe that's why the taste is different. It's not bad, but it's just not like Chatime. But the milk tea, man, it was so close. I am surprised. I am honestly surprised that I could pull that off. I really want to make other kind of boba tea like matcha and taro and maybe even Thai milk tea if I get the Thai leaves. And if you guys want to see me make those, do share your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace!